Bungie just released a huge info drop related to changes coming to Gambit. So the mode is being tweaked and changed, and today I'm going to bring you all the news, including changes coming to the ammo economy, invading, the primeval encounter, and also crucially the rewards too. Well, Gambit is getting a focused loot system much like Trials of Osiris, so it looks like Bungie wants us to play Gambit once again. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. And roughly 98% of viewers who watch This Week in Video Games aren't subscribed, so subscribe today and never miss an update. Well, let's dive right into the changes to Gambit with an update from Bungie. So we're going to start out with the core activity changes, and these changes are all about enhancing teamwork or making the mode easier to play and understand. So they've added a freelance mode, and Bungie say, we think it's important players feel like they always have a chance at winning, and we see over and over that full stacks of friends or clanmates have a significant advantage over groups of solo match-made opponents. So the modes that we've added freelance nodes to, so Iron Banner, Glory and Trials of Osiris, all feel like they end up with more balanced matches more often, even as they increase and split the number of matchmaking pools. We're investigating ways to remove the need for freelance nodes to split the population, and hope to have something for you later on in the year. In the meantime, the ability to queue for Gambit freelance should be very, very useful indeed. Well, some other general changes as well, so rotating seasonal selection of curated encounters, they're going to start in Season 16. So respawn points added to all fronts, so a selection of maps where enemies could cycle in or out. Players always drop half the motes they were carrying when they were defeated, and players can always be revived by other players 2 seconds earlier, and the auto respawn is delayed by 2 seconds. And all shields have an increasing resistance to non-matching damage types, and rules of Gambit nodes have been added to the launch screen, and numerous Gambit specific hints have been added to the load screen as well. So that's going to help all those new players really understand what Gambit is. Well, next up we got blockers, draining and the bank. So Bungie say, while we didn't do any drastic adjustments here, we do have a few tweaks we think will increase the interesting decisions both when sending and battling blockers, and hopefully remove the feeling of helplessness as you pour ammo into 3 knights as all your motes drain away. So first up, the 10 mote phalanx blocker had its health boosted a little bit, and then the 15 mote knight blocker gains a stasis attack. The mote drain from the multiple blockers continues even if the opposing team is in the primeval phase, and then finally the mote drain is paused if a player is near the bank and engaging blockers. So it looks like some interesting changes there, especially with the 15 mote knight blocker gaining a stasis attack. I definitely don't look forward to getting frozen. Well, next up we got the ammo economy. So Bungie say our goal for these changes is to make a more predictable and equal baseline of special and heavy ammo among players. So we're going to be watching both feedback and analytics around ammo gain and usage rate, and we'll continue to make tweaks if these aren't enough to make fair matches. So when completing a front, a chest containing a small amount of special and heavy ammo spawns in the middle of the front, and it can be looted once by each player, so it times out after 20 seconds after the initial interact, so you still can't dilly-dally. So killing a high value target spawns 1 normal heavy brick for each player. So during the primeval phase, ammo chest spawns in one of the fronts every 60 seconds, and this replaces the regular front ammo chests, but you still need to find the time to grab it. Then we got the limited special and heavy ammo bricks only spawn from enemies if you've got finder mods equipped, so other ammo exotics and perks like Eon Cult, well, they still work too. Well, next up, crucially, we've got changes to the primeval fight. So the primeval fight is the ultimate challenge of Gambit. It should feel like an epic boss battle, and long enough for the opposing team to get off some invades to counter, so it should have more to do than simply burning the boss as quickly as possible, and in turn a place to kill envoys every once in a while. This mechanic shouldn't be complex, but it should require about as much tactical play as a high-end strike boss. So the primeval health and slayer stack bonuses returned, so burn the boss after 3 rounds of envoy should be just as easy as it is now, but burning him after 1 or 2 rounds should be significantly more work. Envoys now spawn with friends out in the fronts rather than in the bank area, and they've got reduced health and are no longer affected by slayer stacks and have varied elemental shields. So killing the envoys to get slayer stacks will require movement, dealing with the envoys' protectors, and dealing with their elemental shield. So envoys put an invulnerability shield on the primeval, and you must kill them both to remove it and damage the primeval, forcing your team to go out and invade. So envoys respawn at 30% of the primeval damage done, and that increases by 10% every envoy respawn, and the envoy stops spawning after the 5th spawn. And then the primeval servitor boss is removed since its custom shielding mechanics conflicted with the new mechanics. So in addition to this, the Malfeasance quest starts on the first primeval kill. So with the tuning changes, the moats phase is significantly quicker and the primeval phase longer, and you should expect matches to be just about as long as they are now, but we're going to be watching to make sure they aren't too short or they aren't too long. Well, next up we got changes to invasion. So as we said, a good invader should be able to turn the tide of a match, but a good invader should be no more important than any other equally skilled team member. You know, we don't want a single good invader to completely dominate the match outcome, and they certainly can right now. However, we still want a good invader to be able to delay a strong PvE team from finishing off the primeval. So we've got the level advantage is now disabled for an invader PvP, so it's actually been like this since the start of Beyond Light, and one of the moat phase invasions has been removed. So invasions now trigger at 40 and 80 moat thresholds, and the primeval phase invasions are unchanged, and then invasions can no longer be saved up. You know, basically, you got to use it or you lose it. And invaders no longer can see how many moats enemy players are carrying, and player nameplates fade out when invaders are aiming down their sights. So you can still see players through walls, just not while you're engaging with your rocket trading or using your sniper zoom. So we did find a bug with how the primeval heal effect was being applied, and that depended on the sequence and the timing of kills and would heal the primeval for somewhere between 5 and 35%. So Bungie say they fixed it, and now the invader kills heal the primeval for exactly 27% each time. That sounds like a lot, but it's actually less than the optimal amount prior. We're going to be watching feedback and analytics very closely on this one, and will retune as necessary. Well, next up we got the exciting changes, and these are the reward changes. So Gambit is going to be the second of the core rituals after Trials of Osiris to get the comprehensive engram focusing options. So with focusing, you can focus the Gambit engram to either a Gambit armor or a Gambit weapon for 10,000 glimmer and 50 legendary shards. The Gambit weapons include Crowd Pleaser, Bottom Dollar, Trinary System, Borrowed Time and Servant Leader, and brand new Gambit weapons are dropped only for a single season and then become available for focusing. We expect to expand Drifter's focusing options further during upcoming seasons, and then we got other Drifter changes too. So Bygones, Trust and Bad Omens have been removed from the vendor, and then you've got the end of the match drop, so there's a Gambit memento for weapon crafting that can drop after any match. Older Gambit shaders have now a small chance of dropping at the end of the match, and the primeval servitor cosmetic drops can now drop at the end of any match. For example, the Furtive Shell. So yes, you can expect more rituals to get this treatment throughout the year, but we do not currently have any specific dates to share just yet, so stay tuned. Well, next up we got the future and Gambit Lab. There are a few things that eagle-eyed readers might notice that are missing from the above information. Don't fret, we do have a timeline for future changes. So the daily Gambit bounty objectives are generally fine, but some of the repeatable bounties have onerous completion requirements. So we're taking a pass on these, and they won't come all at once. Sometime this season, we'll be adjusting the completion amounts of most Gambit repeatable bounties. So weapon kills drop from 25 to 15, melee and grenade kills from 25 to 5, super kills from 15 to 10, and in Season 17, we're going to be making additional tuning changes, as well as adding 3 new bounties. Throughout the year, we're going to be adding bounties specific to the Light 3.0 updates. Well, next up we've got Gambit Lab's Invasion Edition. So we've got a couple of Gambit Labs that play with some of the core invasion concepts, and these are going to run for 1 week each, and will take over the base Gambit nodes. So first of all, we've got Invasion Swap. Well, this lab's variation plays around with who gets to benefit from triggered invasions. During the moats phase, instead of opening your own invasion portal at 40 and 80 moats, you instead open your opponent's invasion portal, and we expect this to completely disrupt the accepted meta for how and when to deposit and invade, and we're really looking forward to see the clever strategies and counter strategies that you are going to develop. And next up we got Moat Thief. So fundamentally, the original concept of the invader was Guardians as taken terror, overpowered and dangerous, something new to have to fight. While that is very compelling, we don't believe it's the only compelling invader fantasy. We believe that a sneaky Moat Thief is worth exploring too, and maybe there's more. So normal moat drain from having 2 blockers is disabled. Instead, every second the invader is invading, 1 moat drains directly from your bank to the invader's bank. Well, both those modes there, Invasion Swap and Moat Thief, sound really, really cool. Can't wait to get into that. And it looks like Season 16 is going to be Season of Gambit. So Bungie close up by saying, we hope all the Guardians that love or fear Gambit, give the mode another try once the Witch Queen launches. and we've really enjoyed playtesting it, and we're going to be listening to your feedback and making adjustments. Well, let me know in the comments what you think of the changes coming to Gambit, and also let me know if you're going to be jumping in back into this game mode with a drifter. Well, that is it for this look at the changes coming to Gambit in the Witch Queen, and as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. Or you can check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Well, thanks again. I'll see you soon.